Welcome to my channel. If you have a 1942 East Africa 1 center coin or a 1951 East Africa 10 cents coin, you could be holding a piece of history that's worth more than you imagine. These coins are not just old currency. They are valuable treasures sought after by collectors worldwide. In today's video, we'll explore their fascinating history, rare details, and the reasons why their value can surprise you. Make sure you watch this video until the very end, because I'll reveal important facts that could help you determine if your coin is a rare and valuable find. Stay tuned. You won't want to miss a single detail about these historic and valuable East African coins. First up, the most valuable 1942 East Africa 1 center coin. The 1942 East Africa 1 center coin is more than just an old piece of currency. It is a historical artifact that tells the story of an era, a region, and a colonial system that shaped the lives of millions. Minted during the height of the Second World War, this coin reflects both the challenges and the resilience of the time. For coin collectors, history lovers, and anyone curious about the value of old money, the 1942 1 cent from East Africa is a truly fascinating piece, and in the right condition, it can be worth far more than you might imagine. In 1942, the territories that made up British East Africa included Kenya, Uganda, Tanganyika, and the island of Zanzibar. These lands were under British colonial administration, and their coinage was standardized for use across the region. The 1 cent denomination was a basic unit of everyday trade, used in markets, shops, and transactions large and small. But in 1942, the world was at war, and even the production of small coins like this was influenced by global events. The coin was minted from bronze, an alloy made mostly of copper with a small amount of tin, and sometimes zinc. Bronze was chosen because it was durable, resistant to heavy wear, and relatively inexpensive. However, copper was also needed for making ammunition and military supplies, which meant that the metal for these coins was in competition with wartime needs. Every coin struck in 1942 was part of a careful balance between economic necessity and military demand. One of the most distinctive features of this coin is its large central hole. This design was practical for several reasons. First, it made the coin lighter and reduced the amount of metal needed. Second, it made the coin easy to carry. Many people strung coins together for safekeeping. And third, it made it instantly recognizable by touch, which was useful in markets and busy trading environments. The hole also gives the coin a unique look that stands out in any collection. On the obverse side of the coin, you will see the crown portrait of King George VI facing left. Surrounding the portrait are the words George VI King and Emperor of India. This inscription is historically important because it reflects Britain's colonial reach at the time, even though India would gain independence just 5 years later in 1947. This makes the coin part of the last era when the British monarch held the title Emperor of India. The reverse of the coin is simple but distinctive. The words East Africa appear at the top, and 1 cent appears at the bottom, with the date 1942 clearly displayed. Small decorative dots separate the inscriptions on either side. The design is bold, easy to read, and highly functional for circulation. When it comes to value, condition plays the most important role. A heavily worn coin with corrosion or damage might only be worth a small amount to a collector, but a high-grade example with crisp details and original color can sell for much more. Coins with clear inscriptions, sharp detail in the king's portrait, and no signs of cleaning are especially desirable. Many collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins that still have their original mint luster, that soft, reflective shine that appears when the coin is freshly struck. The tropical climate of East Africa, with its high humidity and temperature fluctuations, was tough on bronze coins. Many became corroded, pitted, or worn down from heavy circulation. This is one reason why well-preserved examples are much harder to find today, and why they carry more value in the market. Collectors also look for varieties and minting errors. While the East African minting process was generally of good quality, small differences can occur, such as slightly misaligned designs, doubled letters, or variations in the central hole shape. These minor quirks can sometimes add to a coin's desirability and value. Another factor that adds to the coin's value is its historical connection to the Second World War. East Africa played an important role in the Allied war effort, providing resources, strategic locations, and troops. The 1942 1-cent coin was part of the region's functioning economy at a time when global supply chains were strained, and every aspect of production was influenced by wartime conditions. Holding this coin is like holding a small piece of the larger story of the war years. If you own a 1942 East Africa 1-center coin, it's important to handle it with care. Storing it properly will help maintain its condition and value. Use acid-free holders or coin flips to prevent chemical reactions that can damage the surface. Keep it in a dry, cool environment away from direct sunlight, and avoid cleaning it, as cleaning can strip away the original patina that collectors find so appealing. This coin also has wide appeal in the numismatic community. It is sought after not only by collectors from Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, but also by enthusiasts of British colonial history, wartime memorabilia, and unique coin designs. Its central hole, historical inscriptions, and wartime minting date make it a standout piece that fits into many different collecting themes. Over time, the number of surviving high-grade examples has decreased, making this coin scarcer each year. As a result, its value has the potential to rise, especially for coins in excellent condition. Some collectors focus on building complete sets of East African coinage, and the 1942 1-cent is an essential part of such a collection. This built-in demand ensures that the coin remains relevant in the market. Every 1942 East Africa 1-center coin carries its own story. Whether it was used in a busy market in Nairobi, carried in a trader's pocket in Zanzibar, or stored away in a drawer for decades, it has traveled through history to reach the present day. It connects us to a specific time, place, and set of events that shaped the modern nations of East Africa. For anyone interested in numismatics, the 1942 1-cent is worth more than its face value, not only in monetary terms, but also as a piece of living history. It stands as a reminder of the complexity of the past, the artistry of coin design, and the enduring appeal of collecting. If you come across one of these coins, take the time to appreciate its details, its history, and its potential value. In the world of coin collecting, treasures often come in the smallest of packages, and this bronze cent from 1942 is a perfect example. Now, we'll explore the legendary 1951 East Africa 10 cents coin. The 1951 East Africa 10 cents coin is a remarkable piece of currency that carries with it the history, culture, and economy of an era that is now long gone. Minted during the final years of British colonial rule in East Africa, this coin stands as a testament to a transitional period in the region's history. For coin collectors and history enthusiasts alike, the 1951 10 cents is more than just an old coin. It is a collectible treasure, and in the right condition, it can be worth far more than its original face value. In 1951, the territories of British East Africa, Kenya, Uganda, Tanganyika, and the island of Zanzibar were still under British administration. The currency system was standardized across these territories, making coins like the 10 cents widely recognized and used. This was a period when colonial rule was still strong, but winds of change were blowing. Within a decade, these nations would be on the path to independence, making the coinage of this era part of the final chapter of British rule in East Africa. The 1951 10 cents coin was struck in copper-nickel, a durable alloy composed of copper and nickel that produces a pale silver-gray color. This metal was chosen over bronze for higher denomination coins because it resists corrosion better and holds up well in the tropical climate of East Africa. Its durability was important for a coin intended for frequent use in markets, shops, and daily transactions. One of the most distinctive features of the 1951 10 cents coin is the large central hole. This design element served multiple purposes. It reduced the amount of metal needed for production, which was cost-effective. It made the coin lighter and easier to carry, especially when strung together. It also provided a tactile difference that helped people quickly identify the coin by touch, an important feature in busy markets. The central hole also gives the coin a unique and instantly recognizable appearance, making it stand out in any collection. On the obverse side, you'll find the crown portrait of King George VI facing left. Surrounding his portrait are the words George VI, King and Emperor of India. This inscription is particularly significant because by 1951, India had already gained independence in 1947, yet the title remained on the coinage. This continuation reflects how colonial coin designs often lag behind political changes, and for collectors, it adds an extra historical layer. The reverse of the coin is clean and practical. The words East Africa curve along the top, and 10 cents is displayed along the bottom, with the date 1951 clearly shown. Small dots separate the inscriptions on each side, adding a subtle decorative touch to the otherwise functional design. When it comes to value, condition is the most important factor. Coins in low grades, those that are heavily worn, corroded, or damaged, may only be worth a small premium to collectors. However, coins in excellent condition, with sharp details, smooth surfaces, and original mint luster, can command much higher prices. Collectors especially prize coins that have been well preserved over the decades, as the humid East African climate was tough on coinage. The 1951 10 cents is also significant because it was one of the final years of King George VI's reign. He passed away in early 1952, and coins issued after that featured Queen Elizabeth II. This makes the 1951 issue part of the last set of East African coins to carry his portrait. For collectors focusing on monarch transitions or last-year issues, this coin holds special importance. Varieties and minting quirks also play a role in determining value. While the minting process was generally precise, small differences in strike, alignment, or letter spacing can occur. These minor variations can be especially interesting to specialists and may add to a coin's appeal. Beyond its historical and numismatic value, the 1951 East Africa 10 cents coin is a beautiful example of practical coin design. The central hole, the balanced inscriptions, and the use of copper nickel all reflect careful consideration of the coin's purpose and environment. It's a reminder that even everyday objects like coins were designed to be functional, durable, and distinctive. Collectors from all over the world seek out this coin, not just those with ties to East Africa. British colonial coin enthusiasts, world coin collectors, and those who specialize in coins with unusual features, like central holes, all value the 1951 10 cents. This global interest helps keep demand strong, and as time passes, the number of well-preserved examples continues to shrink. If you have a 1951 East Africa 10 cents coin, it's important to store it properly to protect its value. Keep it in an acid-free holder or coin flip, away from direct sunlight and moisture. Copper nickel is more resistant to corrosion than bronze, but it can still tarnish or spot if exposed to the wrong conditions. Avoid cleaning the coin, as cleaning can scratch the surface or remove the natural toning that collectors appreciate. The story behind this coin is also tied to the broader history of East Africa's path to independence. By the mid-20th century, nationalist movements were growing stronger, and the colonial system was under increasing pressure. Within a decade, the countries that once used this coin would have their own currencies, making colonial-era issues, like the 1951 10 cents relics, of a past era. Owning one of these coins is like holding a small piece of history in your hand, a reminder of the people who used it in daily life, the economic systems it served, and the political changes it witnessed. Whether found in an inherited collection, purchased from a dealer, or discovered at a market, the 1951 East Africa 10 cents coin is a treasure worth keeping and studying. Its value lies not just in its metal content, but in its story, its design, and its place in history. Over the years, coins like this have become increasingly sought after, and prices for well-preserved examples have been steadily rising. If you own one, take the time to appreciate its details, its background, and its significance. And remember that this is more than just a 10-cent piece from decades ago. It is a valuable and meaningful link to the history of East Africa. If you've stayed with me until now, you can see why the 1942 East Africa 1 center and the 1951 East Africa 10-cent coins are far more than just old bits of metal. These are rare, historic, and highly collectible pieces that connect us to a unique era in East African history. Whether it's the wartime story of the 1942 1 cent or the final years of King George I's reign with the 1951 10 cents, each coin has a value that goes beyond money. It's a piece of history in your hand. If you have either of these coins in your collection, take care of them. Keep them safe, because their value can continue to grow over time, especially in excellent condition. And if you ever come across one, you now know exactly why it's worth holding on to. I'd love to hear from you. Do you own a 1942 East Africa 1 center or a 1951 East Africa 10 cents? Have you ever found one in a collection, a market, or maybe even as a family keepsake? Share your story in the comments below, because your experience might inspire another collector. If you enjoyed learning about these coins and their history, make sure to like this video so more people can discover it. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you won't miss my future videos on rare and valuable coins from around the world. And remember, sometimes the smallest coins tell the biggest stories.